We're back and we're talking about Village Connector Community with founder of the community, Glenn Garnes. And Glenn, when we took the break, you outlined the foundational pillars for the community. So let's talk more in depth about those foundations and how they're going to help in our evolution of humanity.
Sounds good. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's see. I think you mentioned first the education, so let's talk about education.
Good deal. That's one of my favorites. It's actually probably, because of its connection to everything else that we do, probably the most important one. And when we're talking about Village Connector education, we're not talking about academic education. There are plenty of places for people to get the formal schooling. Okay. What's usually missing for people is real life, personal skills, people skills, networking skills, just practical daily, routine type stuff.
Stuff they don't get in school.
Exactly. We get a little bit of leadership, but not at the level that we need to be leaders. We get a little bit of everything, but not at the level that we need to master certain concepts. That's something that we need to be aware of, becomes the lifestyle choice. Okay. I like to think that personal development is something you do perpetually, not just one time. You don't get a degree in personal development and then you're done. And unfortunately, our school system kind of lends itself. You get your diploma, you get your degree, get your graduate degree, and you're done. Your law degree, whatever it may be. You're never done. Because when you stop growing, things in your life stop along with it. And that's why we want people to understand that Village Connector is about supporting the concept of a mindset shift that has you finding personal development to be something you do perpetually. And so in that connection, we provide a lot of content related to all kinds of things. Like I said, self-esteem, leadership, developing your skills and talents in a way that makes you more valuable to yourself individually and therefore more valuable to the people in your life. And when you're more valuable as an individual, you have greater opportunities that come your way, but you also then are able to give more back to the community, to the people that you are close to. And that's what the real message is. That's where the evolution of humanity comes in, is that if everyone made that commitment, first of all, we'd have less time to be ranting and raving on social networks. And number two, we'd be a lot more productive with things that really change the face of humanity if we were getting together to have those kinds of discussions. So Village Connector education is very much about helping people, empowering people to draw out from themselves their skills, their talents, their genius, and to nurture and develop those at a level where you become more valuable as an individual to yourself, but also to others.
So there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet. A whole lot of, these free webinars and all kinds of books and ebooks and all kinds of stuff out there on the internet. People might be thinking, well, but I can get personal development through the education of, I won't say the name of the search engine, but for any search engine. So why Village Connector Community? What makes what we're going to provide so much more special?
Well, the people that say that are absolutely right. The problem is that most people don't go out and do that because it requires them to know what they're looking for. And a lot of times I've found that people sometimes find it easier to make a commitment to do something when they're in a formal program where things are organized logically, as opposed to hoping that they're hitting all of the points that they should be covering. So our content is designed to be topically organized, and frankly, it's all free. The core curriculum that we have offered through the Village Connector community system is all free to the community. So it's the same kind of thing that you would find on Facebook or LinkedIn or on YouTube or anywhere else that you would Google. The only difference is that we've got it organized logically so that there's no gaps in your learning experience. So it's kind of like, well, you could learn everything that you learned in college on your own, sure, but it helps that there's a syllabus and a curriculum and a degree program, as opposed to you trying to figure out whether you've covered all the bases.
Okay, and I would imagine knowing that you've got reliable people, experts who really are experts in certain areas who are delivering some of this education.
And that's another good point, is that we eat our own cooking here at Village Connector Community. And what I mean by that is that we're organized in a group of people who have all invested in themselves through personal development, become leaders and trainers and coaches and authors and educators. And they work together collaboratively to make sure that they put together course content that fills the gaps, gives you everything that you need. Our goal at Village Connector is to put you on a steady diet of personal development information and to make it easy for you to get it. And there has never been a better point in time in our history than there is today with respect to how quickly and easily people can access the information they need.
Oh, yeah.
We've got on-demand video, we've got streaming programs, we've got all kinds of communications technologies, and that's also part of our infrastructure. I know you're going to probably want to ask me about that later, but the point is that this is all for the benefit of advancing the cause of humanity. And all we have to do is to get people to plug in and take advantage of it.
Cool. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, let's talk about one of the next pillars, foundational pillars.
I'll
for the
do it.
village. All right. And with that, we'll be right back.